Okay, I think I'm, excuse me. I think I'm live now. And let me just adjust a few settings. Actually, I don't think anyone's even on right now. Oh wait, just kidding. We got someone. Cool. Hey. I'm just adjusting a few things and I'll get started. And yeah, sorry I'm a little late. I had to work on some stuff. And give me 1 second. All right, so this is going to be part 2 of Tesla modeling, and I guess what's helpful is if you guys are just joining, or yeah, I guess if you guys are just joining, and I don't know, in the future, if you watch this and you haven't watched the first part, then you can find that. I don't have it as a link right now to my in my description, but after this posts, I'll have it in my description. And if you weren't here for the first one, just very quickly as a brief overview, some of the things that we did and was pretty much just a revenue build. So the part of the DCF that I think is the most important is the revenue build if you're building out a very detailed model. And so here we're just looking at just the Model S, X, 3, etc. You know, all of Tesla's cars. And we didn't even get actually to projecting out everything. That we have a revenue summary. Eventually, we want to project out autonomous driving, energy products, regulatory credit, etc., etc. And I think, you know, obviously, since there's going to be so many assumptions being put in here, and we also have 10 years, you know, who knows what's going to happen in 10 years, right? And so these assumptions that I'm going to include, they're most likely going to be wrong looking like a year later, 2 years later, whenever, right? But the point of modeling is not necessarily to be, excuse me, 100% correct in your assumptions, but instead create a range of what you think a company's stock price should be and feeling comfortable investing based on that range. And so that's what we're going to be working on today. You know, after the big challenge that we had with the modeling last time was that just the assumptions, you know, it's really hard to build out assumptions for companies when you don't have access to a lot of kind of industry reports and things like that. So there's a lot of guessing, but I figure out, I kind of thought about what I think we should do. So that's what we're going to do. And let me kind of just show you what we're going to do in a nutshell. So today the plan is to build out the revenue, start off by actually projecting out Gigafactory capacity. Because I thought about, you know, how can we really project out each car's number of units from, you know, year 2021 into the future. And I thought, you know, it's probably better to think about what is the total number of cars possible that can be created, and then go from like a top-down approach rather than a bottom-up approach. And then the next thing we're going to just do is look into the cars, project out the other revenue streams, hopefully build out the rest of the DCF. I have a pretty hard stop. I want to max this stream for 2.5 hours, so we'll see how far we get. I have a strong feeling that we might not be able to complete it within that time. But looking at the chat, the Excel sheet's only available for Patreon members, so I'm sorry that I can't send it over. And cool, what's up? Good to have you here, Richie and Neo. How do you take assumption for forecasting? That's what we'll kind of go through, although I'm not 100% sure what that question means. But all right, so all right, I'm gonna zoom in here. And also, I was pretty busy today, so I didn't get to do as much research as I wanted. And by the way, I didn't change anything else in the model in case you're coming from the previous stream. I only added this part right here, and I only started on it, but I want to actually adjust it. But basically, right now here, we have the So let's start with the highest level actually. So Elon wants to deliver 20 million cars by the year 2030, right? That's his goal. And no one really thinks it's possible, but we're going to pretend like it is. And that's going to be the Elon case, right? Which is like the optimistic case. And then I realized what we should do is not like what we did before was look at the street figure estimates and then kind of create an Elon case based off the street, but the street estimates are still way too conservative. So we're going to create the Elon case first while incorporating some of the street estimates, and then we're going to build out the base case, which will be a reduction of the Elon case, and then the conservative case will be which will be a further reduction. And ultimately our goal is gonna, and this is of course is like all wrong right now, but we're gonna try to get it so that at least for the first 5 to 6, 7 years, the annual growth rate should be around 50%, because for the Elon case, because that's what Elon has stated that he wants to do. And then in the other cases we'll decrease things. So all right. And by the way, I know a lot of people did a lot of research on Tesla before. So if any of you guys ever have any information that, like, as I'm putting in assumptions, you're like, hey, there's actually this research that says this or that, that's like super helpful for me. So if you want to add that to the chat, add it as a comment. If you're watching this as a replay, I pretty much read almost every comment, but I can't reply to every single one. So, but if it has like interesting, data that I missed, then I'm always happy to look at that. All right. And periodically, I'm going to look at the chat and everything. But so what I did here, let's start by building out capacity. And these are going to be super rough estimates. And let's write here current, max capacity. This is in the thousands. So these numbers are pretty accurate because I got them from here, which is from a research report, and it uses a lot of, there's only a few months left of the 2021. So these numbers I feel like are pretty reliable. So that's what we included here. These are pretty much like solid, right? And by the way, this is not how many cars Tesla has delivered, and this is all not how much they will be delivering. It's more of like what's the total capacity. And then, it takes actual time after you build the Gigafactory to actually start producing. And in calls, Elon has said it takes around a year or maybe a little longer to build out the factory, and then a year to ramp up production to full production. So it takes time not only to build a factory, but also to actually get production running, because there must be so many issues that he deals with, or that the whole Tesla team deals with. And I also got the hectares, and to kind of just see, because I know that these Gigafactories, a lot of them can be expanded to add more production capacity. So I just thought it'd be helpful to look at, how big are these basically. And there's like some talk that this Berlin one can reach up to 2 million per year eventually, with production efficiency as the process just gets better, and also adding another building in a sense to create more to do more production. I think that's really optimistic, but again, we're going with the super optimistic case first, and then we're gonna so we can see like, hey, if he accomplishes everything that he wants to do, let's see what Tesla's value is worth, and then make things more conservative from there. Where do I find the equity value for WACC is a question. Equity value is just your market cap. So that's just what you look at. You can find that on, Google Finance, anywhere. All right. So I've also read in some reports, I believe this is true. I'm going off the top of my head, but it shouldn't be too far off, that by the end of 2022, Berlin should be able to manufacture 10,000 cars per week, and then Texas is another 10,000. So 52 weeks in a year times 10 essentially is 520,000. But let's call it 500,000 for these. And so by 2022, I think this is pretty fair. that Tesla has capacity to deliver 2.2 million. And remember that Tesla delivered around 880,000 in 2021, or they're expected to. So even with this max capacity, again, they're not actually hitting the number, right? And so from earnings calls, what I've read is that Tesla is focusing a lot more on producing its cars because they have like supply chain issues, and they're not really trying to open up or expand Gigafactory capacity yet. And then for 2023 to 2030, that's where it's going to be a lot of guesswork, to be honest. And this is where I'm going to have to just make some kind of bold assumptions. And let's say, like, my assumption, so I'm going to be changing these with all of you guys. I just put in some kind of random numbers here. So Fremont eventual capacity, from what I've, sure, this might be easier, 1.5 million. Someone told me on the comments, Shanghai also may build, all the rest of these can hit 2 million. It's like Shanghai is the smallest one though. I don't know. I don't really know how much 86 hectares are, but we'll just assume that it's around, I don't know if it can hit 2 million, but someone mentioned that. We'll probably keep this at like 1 million, and then just assume that Tesla makes another China factory somewhere else. All right, so, okay, so this, I'm just going to put an X for the ones that we've kind of like already feel good about. So let's do 2022, we feel pretty good. And then in 2023, I think in some part of 2022, Tesla is probably going to be looking into the next factory they're going to build, or next location. And I think they would start building that in 2023, and then actually be at volume production in 2024, right? So that's where I have this Gigafactory number 5, and I assume that they just start with like 500,000. So I'm gonna let's see here. Let's say I think 2.2 million. I don't necessarily really want this to be flat. Let's see. And also, I don't really know what the ramp is going to look like, to be honest. I don't know if it's going to be, Tesla grows production gradually, or they just like, boom, build another plant and it's like 2x, right? I think the latter is maybe a little bit more likely. But let's just say that they max out at efficiency at 750 per existing facility for those two. And then 500 here. I'm just going to assume the same thing, 750 in year 3. Okay, so no new Gigafactories. They're working on building another one. And then let's just assume the same thing here. What did I have before? Yeah. Okay. And then they have this new one, right? And maybe like by the time it gets to 2024, instead of starting out with a factory that around 500,000, now they become really efficient. They know what they're doing. So now they built it out to 750 for that first one. So, and then I'm kind of assuming here, I guess, right? AMD DCF. AMD. No, I didn't. Maybe in the future though. Okay, so all right, let's do it year by year, else I'm gonna get confused. Okay, so then 2025. I'm gonna assume here that they let's see, what should we assume here? Well, this should be 750 at least. So the new one is gonna be at 750. The old one, or the newest one, also at 750. And then I think by this time, the biggest, like, let's assume that Berlin gets to 1,250, Texas gets to 1,250. So essentially, they've kind of built a new plant. Again, I'm really not sure if, like, these are assumptions that I would probably eventually have to double check, spend a lot of time on in the future. So Berlin and Texas, these are the reason I want to grow these though is that these two. Texas, I think Fremont is not as big of a priority anymore because it might be more expensive there, and Texas just has more land, but we'll see about that. And then eventually I'll grow this to 1500. Shanghai, let's grow this to, so let's see, 1000 here. I'll grow this to 1250. I think 1.5 is probably the max for Fremont. And then I'm gonna say 1.5 million is the max for Shanghai as well, because it seems it's built on a smaller piece of land. And then 2 million for Berlin. Okay, so Texas, all right, so Gigafactory 5 is growing to 1000. All right, so let's just keep things consistent. I'm gonna say for the first 2 years, it's 750, and then scale it up by 250 again. So let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna stop this out at 1500, and then Shanghai max is 1.5, so do the same thing here. Rolling the dice. Yeah, I know. This, I'm telling you, I'm just building out a structure, and we can fix the assumptions later on. But if I was gonna actually go through all, you know, making this perfect, this would take forever. So, and also I don't think there's any these numbers, by the way, these are numbers that I got from actual research. So I could show you, since there's been a complaint, I will show at least one piece of research, because I can't show everything, right? For Berlin Gigafactory capacity 2 million. Tesla Gigafactory up to 2 million vehicles per year. All right, so this is kind of what I'm basing that number off of. And then the other things, I don't think this is even going to happen, right? We're just trying to build the Elon case. So Paul, I don't know when you joined, but I said at the very beginning that we're just trying to build towards a super, super optimistic case. These numbers are possible if Elon believes what he believes. And I'm going to build out the structure for the entire model, and then later on, I'll probably have to change a lot of things. But I think this is a better approach than what I was doing yesterday or a few days ago on the first stream. Okay, so these are at 1500 max capacity. This is at, what do I have here? And Paul, if you have a better suggestion or if you have some research, then let me know. I'm happy to adjust as needed. Okay, once it gets to 2000, I'm gonna just keep it here. Do the same thing here. We're trying to get to that 20 million capacity number, and then that gives us a rough estimate of like what Tesla really needs to do to deliver 20 million cars a year. Okay, so 750. Okay, this is Gigafactory 5. I'm gonna assume that they build the factory up to 2 million per year again, because it seems like that's like a really large number already as it is. And let's see, yeah, that's already a big number as it is. I don't know if they're going to really go more than 2 million cars in a single factory. So okay, anyhow, 750, 1 million. How should we grow this one? So starting from here, let's just grow it by 250. Oops. Okay, so simplifying assumption, we're gonna just grow everything by 250. We're gonna assume in year 2029 that they are super efficient and can start building out a factory that produces 1,000. And they're not going to necessarily, they might start production or building the factory here, and then, you know, start actually producing here, right? So, okay, and then let's say 1250. Yeah, I mean, so this really is somewhat of a good exercise to just show how crazy it is that Elon wants to even reach 20 million cars. Like, that's what we're trying to build to, right? But it's incredibly, it's just so many cars. So let's say they're even more efficient here. Okay. So, I mean, this is kind of the ramp that kind of, well, let's see. Okay, so we want things to be growing relatively evenly. So we don't want, so let's like adjust these a little bit. Actually, I don't think we need to really adjust it that much. 1000. Okay, let's see, 1250, 700. Just the financials I sourced. I don't know if I could do that because it'd be kind of hard to send out. If you're a Patreon member and you message me, then sure. I'm not sure if you are or not, but yeah, sorry. Just thinking about these assumptions. Let's see if this is 1250. Okay. I'm trying to make it so that things are a little more, you know, make some sort of logic here, right? So right now, in 2022, this is pretty, I think, set in stone. 2021 and 2022. Tesla has not said they're going to create another Gigafactory or anything in 2022, right? So we're assuming that in 2023, and 2022, I guess, they start building out the next one, and then that one launches in 2024. And so even though this is not really smooth, it is what it is, right? Because of what we assume here. And then for the next, let's see, 6 years, right? We need to ramp up really quickly. And you could argue that, hey, this needs to grow exponentially. But I think it makes sense to grow it linearly, because creating gigafactories, you know, you create one at a time, right? It's not like, I mean, it grows kind of linearly at the end. Let's say this is like, or sorry, exponentially just at the very end. And maybe you could argue that this should be kind of changed a little bit to make it more gradual. And actually, I mean, when I think about that, that does make sense too. But, you know, I think, again, these are just rough assumptions that we can change later. And the projections far out also, the ones further out, I think will not affect our DCF as much because it's projected way more into the future. So I guess the simplifying assumption we're making at the very end is that Tesla, everything's going great in 2030, and then Tesla is just building out like 2 gigafactories at the same time, right? And that's what, sorry, a lot of times you're gonna ask during this stream, as I talk, I'm gonna be building stuff out, so sometimes I'm just gonna like lose my train of thought while in the middle of speaking. So just a heads up for all of you. Okay, so I think everyone understands that now, right? And I think this provides a good foundation of, again, what Tesla needs to really do in terms of ramping up production. And then roughly from here, right, we can figure out how many cars they can actually produce max. Versus before, what we were kind of doing was looking at street numbers and then trying to get like an Elon case based off that. I think it makes more sense to look at the top of like what's totally possible and then build down from there. Model structure looks great. When you start, do you draft an outline? If I was yeah, so this was my outline for today. I just thought about it and I was like, what should I do? And then I did this. I built this out a little bit. And I think if I was like on the actual job at like JPM, you do think about things a lot with your team, and then you kind of build out assumptions after you kind of like outline it a little bit, I guess. But anyhow, okay, so now the challenge is to figure out from these figures here how to basically create the units based on those figures. That's going to be the real challenge here. And this part I didn't fully think through because, like I said earlier on, I was super busy, so I wasn't able to fully think through everything yet. So I'm going to do this kind of live. Okay, so I'm just thinking. Yeah, Richie, that'd be great. It'd be great if I could. I don't know if I can sticky anything. I don't know if that's something I am allowed to do. I'm looking at some settings. I guess not though. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, Paul D. So in year 34, it's assumed that Tesla will sell approximately 20% of the global passenger cars of fiscal year 2018. Just impossible. Man, did you I guess, I don't know if you just joined recently, but this is not what I'm saying Tesla's going to do. This is what Elon said he wants to do. He wants to reach 20 million cars by 2030. So I'm not saying that's what's, I already explained this, but I guess you joined late. Tesla aims to sell 30 million electric vehicles by the year 2030. Right? So that's why I mentioned that's what I'm trying to build to first, and that's going to be our most optimistic case, and then we're going to reduce that for a base case and conservative case. Yeah, and obviously, yeah, okay. Anyhow, so all right, let's see. I'm just gonna get the summaries here. Model S, Model X, Model 3. And also the reason that I am doing it this way is because we want to, I think, still insane from a professional perspective. Yeah, so just to explain this a little bit more, I guess, the reason I'm even doing the Elon case where it's super, super optimistic is because I think I'm personally curious where if Tesla can actually achieve these crazy things that Elon says, what is Tesla's valuation, right? That's why I want to know. I don't think I would buy Tesla kind of like regardless of what my DCF says, because I think it's probably just going to be too overvalued for me. Not saying that like is a bad company or anything like that. I'm just saying that no matter what this model says, I doubt it's going to really convince me that I should buy Tesla. But I think it's a good thought experiment. So just to summarize what this is, street estimates for car units. Okay. These are our current assumptions. Oh, these are, yeah. Yeah, so, and this is also why I said that I don't know how much we're going to be able to get done. There might even have to be a part 3. I don't know how long this is going to take, but there's just a lot of more, yeah, there's a lot of thought that I have to put in. A lot of these assumptions are going to be very rough, and then I think what I want to do over the next, like, honestly, few months or year is like just do periodic streams whenever there's new information about Tesla and keep refining the model as I get better and better, like more time to do research and all that stuff. All right, so let's take a look at percent of total capacity. %59%. Also, yeah, I don't know, Paul, if you like, I'm totally fine with constructive criticism or even help. So I mean, if you have suggestions or research, anyone, like if you guys ever have that, then just, you know, let me know. Excel, I learned in banking, and that's where I picked up the skills, I guess. But okay, looking at this, so obviously we can see that the street estimates are just way too conservative. So even if what we did yesterday of doing like an Elon Musk case of 50% more than the street estimate, that's still not going to really get us. That's going to make this like 6 million. We're just going to make this like, you know, 30% of the total capacity. So as Excel a skill, it depends. It's not something I would honestly brag about at a party or anything. It's just something that that can be useful. All right. So I think what we're gonna need to do, so we're gonna build the Elon Musk case first. So I think well, I was mad that DCFs had multiple assumptions. One of them is an optimistic case based on the CEO's statements. Yeah, I mean, Elon has some really crazy statements though. That's why I want to build this out. Honestly, like, hey, if he achieves what he wants, then Tesla's valuation, I would probably already assume that it's going to reach like 3-4 trillion if they can actually, you know, without even building out everything, if Elon achieves what he sets out to do. But that's a huge if. All right, so total here, okay. Nowadays, firms require Python, MATLAB. Yeah, if you work at a like a quant hedge fund, maybe, but normal fundamental hedge funds don't really require that. And not saying that normal hedge funds are better or worse, but I have some friends in funds who are doing pretty well without Python. Investment banking, you'll never, well, maybe in the future, but as of now, you don't need like CS skills. Anyhow, all right, so, sorry, I need to add, right. So Model Y, then we have the Cybertruck. And then semi-trucks, the Roadster, mass market car. And then we're going to try, if we can, build out new car number 1, new car number 2, and there aren't that many fundamental shops left. Yeah, kind of dying out, I guess. I mean, with ETFs and everything, it's just like, it's tough to beat the market. And you could just not worry about it too much and invest in index funds and get pretty decent returns. All right, why am I rambling about that? Okay. So percent growth. Okay. So obviously these growth rates are just way too slow, right? Because I think no matter how bearish you are on Tesla, I don't think they're going to, at least for a few of these years, they're not going to be going by 16, 13%. So let's kind of, I guess we're going to have to do a little backtracking again to get to our Elon case. So we want to get here, we want to get this to 20 million, right? And there needs to be some kind of exponential ramp based on your total capacity. So did Elon want to deliver 20 million cars, or did he say, I think that's what he said, sell 20 million electric vehicles by 2030. Man, that just sells this. That's just so many cars. Or does he want to, oh, maybe it's, okay, is it not per year? Is it 20 million total by 2030? That would make so much more sense. I hope it's that, but honestly, I don't think it's that. Tesla's goal, 20 million annual car sales by 2030. So he wants to sell 20 million cars per year. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's their goal. Okay. Sorry, I'm opening my door because it's hot. Okay. 20 million here. And so we always want to make sure that whatever we project out here is less than the total capacity. I mean, I guess the simplest thing to do is to, I don't really like that, because that's total capacity. I kind of think, like with the Elon case, you know, just because a capacity is 20 million, to actually sell 20 million, the capacity probably needs to be even higher than that, right? They need it to probably be something like 25 million in order to actually sell that much. So to have this equal the total capacity is also a little weird. Okay, so I'm gonna be a little bit less bullish than Elon, and then just make this 90%. Or I would have to increase more capacity here, which I guess we could also do. Man. I mean, I guess we should do that because we do want to, again, we want to try to build out to Elon's case, right? 20 million, because that's the purpose of this whole thing. Okay, so then let's assume they have built out yeah, we're going to add 2 factories in 2029. Well, would they want to create 2 in 1 year? They probably want to actually create that more in the past. Okay, so it looks like I will have to kind of make this a 3 in that year now. Yeah, this is tricky. I think, oh man, okay, I'm gonna have to revisit these assumptions. Just to, yeah, we'll make this, I'm gonna massage the numbers to basically have them grow, like have some more, a little bit more logic to this and just randomly putting some numbers here. So again, these years are fine. We already talked about those. 2024, they're adding 1 new Gigafactory. So that means in the next few years, no new Gigafactories. I think, okay, so that's 1 year here, 1 year here, then they start production here. I think it makes sense that in 2025, they'll have built out at least 3 more. Oops. And then so that says an increase of 3,000. Kind of a lot, but I think, oh wait, why? Oh, it's because they're expanding capacity. Okay. So they're expanding capacity while building 2 more gigafactories. I think that actually is kind of tough. Let's assume that they build out 2 in 2026. So essentially they're ramping up their existing factories for the next, from 2024 to 2026. And then in 2026, building out 2 factories at once, 2 new ones. And at the same time, ramping up their existing ones. And so let's, just like how they take some breaks after building gigafactories for 2 years, for a few years, I think it makes sense actually for them to kind of pause for a year. I don't think they're gonna, you know, it's a lot to build out completely new gigafactories. So I think it makes sense, like roughly they build out really quickly, like new gigafactories. They take a break from building out a new one, build out some more in 1 year, and then build out some more, and then take another rest, right? So roughly speaking, I think it makes sense for the numbers to be a little lumpy like this. And 1,500, 1,500, 1,500. 3 new gigafactories is probably too much in one year. Okay. So 1.5 million in 1 year. Wow, that's, or well, they'll be building it from these years on. Okay. All right, let's just go with that for now. And then let's see here. So I'm just going to highlight the numbers set in stone. What is the best way to learn about DCF valuation? It's a, you know, I'd say it's a little bit hard, to be honest. Okay, no, there's a, it depends how old you are, but if you're young and in college, I'd say just, you know, work in banking. If you're going to MBA school or something, you go to banking after that. I think that's really the best training ground. And then if you're a little older and you're still trying to learn, there's a career source that's actually more for banking prep, but it's called Financial Edge, and they have like an online course basically. You can check it out in my description, get 25% off, but it's like could be helpful. Sorry, I'm gonna pour myself some more tea. Okay. All right, and then so I did get some permission from this tool that I use called Visible Alpha to show some consensus numbers for the future. And so we're gonna kind of just look at what 2020, or sorry, what Cybertruck numbers look like for their units. Okay, units here, 2022, 16,000. So yeah, these are pretty small because Cybertrucks are, you know, a lot smaller market than in terms of number of units versus like these other sedans and SUVs. Oh, what should we do here? Okay, so this is growing by 59%. Oh no, it's capacity, 76%. Okay, so, oh, right, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I'm gonna now just shift my entire focus into building, well, I've already kind of said this, but I'm gonna build just the most optimistic case that I can and just focus on building that, because I think if you want to, and I think later on I'll maybe in another video try to get to the more realistic number. But I think it's just, yeah, I think I'm kind of reshifting my idea of like why I'm building this. And I think it'd be just cool to see if Elon reaches his figures, you know, exactly like what he's able to what the Tesla's valuation should be. Okay, so growth of capacity, or growth here, we want to eventually get to 20 million cars. Yeah, and sorry, I'm not going to answer shortcut questions, because if you literally Google, this is what I always did on the job too. If you literally Google your question, like shortcut to highlight formula in Excel, then it provides the answer for you. But I'll only answer that one. It's F2. Press F2 and escape. Okay, so let's see if, okay, all right. So let's say this was a 50% growth rate. Even if they hit that, what would they get? Because that's Tesla's goal, to hit 50% growth rate in the long run. Oh, okay, so, okay. And then maybe if this is 40%. Okay, so this is good. It gives me a sense of how much they really need to sell each year. And the thing is that I think the really large number of cars that actually are going to be sold is the mass market car, right? And that is supposed to, I think 2023, 2024. Is this in here? Roadster. Nope, it's not. So 25,000 car Tesla. I forgot which year it's supposed to come out. Tesla aims to release $25,000 electric car in 2023. Let's see if that means that it'll be, okay, it will be released. I don't know if, oh, it won't have a steering wheel. That's pretty cool. And does that mean they're going to deliver in 2023? Or are they just going to showcase it and say, so let's see. He made it clear that the new price point will be achieved. New battery cell. Okay. Also, let me know if you guys think I should play music while I stream, because I watched a little bit of my stream before, and you know, there's some times where I'm just like reading or thinking, it gets really quiet, and I could play like studying type of music, so that's not as silent when I'm not talking. Let me know what you guys think. Back in 2019, Tesla unveiled him. Okay, so okay, here we go. Aiming to start production of the new $25,000 electric car in 2023. So they're going to slowly ramp and then probably like explode in these next few years, right? And we want to really, so MMC is this mass market car, and it should explode in these like few years, right? So I would, in 2022 and 2023, there still will be pretty big growth, I think, because like as you guys probably saw with Hertz, and they just tried to or they're going to be buying 100,000 cars from Tesla, and that kind of stuff might happen more with like more, I don't know, who knows, like a company like Uber might like try to buy a lot or something like that. So, and the purpose of a revenue build is to eventually flow it into your DCF. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. And okay, let's see. So what I want to do, Cybertruck, I'm going to use street numbers here because I think they're pretty reliable 1 year looking out. It's really the later years that everyone on Wall Street really debates, right? And so let me download some data. Huh, why isn't that working? That's weird. Okay. I don't know why that's doing that, but huh, that's odd. Okay. Anyway, let's just look at this thing. Cybertruck number of units. Thousands. So 16,000 2022. 73,000 in 2023. Oh, this is the compact. I guess this is the mass market car. Yeah, because it's exploding in numbers. So 16,000. I think that's pretty reliable. In 2022. Semi truck 1 million. Oops. Roadster 2 million. Mass market car is going to come out in 2023. That's 0. That's 0. Okay. Let's use this thing. Okay, so this set in stone again. And oh wait, so 39, 35. Let's see okay, 2022 Model S 28 million, 24 million, Model X 528 and 634. Okay, so this is FactSet versus Visible Alpha, so things are going to be a little different, but so this means next year they're going to be releasing 1.2 million cars, or delivering 1.2 million cars. Let's see how much Elon said that he thinks is going to be possible. Okay, so Wedbush says 1.3 million. Tesla is expected to reach 1.3 million deliveries in 2022. So I think that number is fairly, you know, I think we could increase these a little bit, but I think, yeah, given that these are street estimates, sorry, I'm looking at the questions here. So, hardcore death metal. I'm studying computer science. Can I? Yeah, bankers really like technical people. So if you want to look at, or if you're interested in banking, then you could definitely have a shot there, regardless of that major. I think that's actually a good thing. Bitrate for the stream, I don't remember. It might be like 2,500 or 3,500. Is it laggy or something like that? I'm really like a noob when it comes to streaming stuff. So, by the way, the background's gonna be better in the future eventually. Right now, it's just like a super weird setup. I need to get some lights and stuff because the main light I use up here in the ceiling, it makes the like entire screen white when I'm filming, so on my camera. So I'm gonna fix that later. It's too low. It's too low for the stream quality. Oh, so I should increase the bit rate, I guess. Is that what? I lowered it because it was lagging a bit when I was testing it. If you have suggestions, though, I'd be very happy to hear them. Okay, so Street is estimating about 1.2 million. But of course, Elon. Okay, so what are we trying to do here? Elon. We were trying to make it so that we get to the Elon case. So, and I do think that there's going to be, I think there's a good chance we're going to go past the Street estimates. It's just an issue with supply chains right now. Okay, so let's say, so this is 550, this is 670. Because these are Street estimates, what I'm just going to do is increase this by 10%. And, you know, that'll be our optimistic case. Oops. And again, this is, I mean, this actually is how you build optimistic cases, right? You just go off of like a assumption and then you make it a little bit more optimistic. So I think 10% more than the Street. It's not that aggressive. It's just, we'll have to depend on the supply chain issues. All right, so what we're going to do is multiply this by 10%. Oops, because we're trying to get to around 1.3 million or higher. Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, it's weird. Why would anyone go into IB with a CS degree when you can do more meaningful stuff? Yeah, I agree, to be honest. if you know how to do CS, but I mean, I had some friends though who wanted to go into banking even though they're CS major. Oops, just because you know, some people study CS and don't really like it. But if you like it, yeah, I agree. I think like if I could have been an engineer, oops, then I might have been one. Oh, what the heck? This wasn't even summing up. Oh. That's annoying. Okay. Or rather than annoying, that was dumb. Okay. So 1.4 million. I'd say that's pretty optimistic. And let's see, what's this growing by? Oh, sorry, William. I saw your hi earlier. Forgot to reply. But good to have you on the stream. No problem. Jose, I guess, is how you pronounce it. Okay. Okay, so I like this, actually. Because Tesla grew by 76% in 2021. And you know, what you do want to see is the growth rate slowly decreasing. And this is not revenue actually, but at least for the number of units, still it kind of makes sense. That number should kind of be decreasing. And remember, I'll just write here, just to remind you guys, Tesla's long-term growth rate goal is 50%. Okay, change to 8K. I will test that out for this stream right now. I don't want to mess up anything. But I'll try that out for the next one. By the way, the next stream, I'm going to be building out DCF for Facebook, and it's not going to be as detailed as this. I'm going to make it a lot more simple because also Facebook's a little bit more predictable. So that will be on either Wednesday or Thursday this week, if you guys want to join that one. Okay, so 1.4. Okay, and then the mass market. All right, so let's fill out Cybertruck first. 2020, what year are we in? 2023, Cybertruck. They're saying Street is saying 73. Semis, 3 million or 3,000. Roadster, 1,000. And the Roadster is really expensive. Well, I think what they're assuming here is that the Roadster, there's just so much pent up demand because it'll just be launching. I think that makes sense. Long term, I think yeah, well, CS actually, I mean, if you become an engineer at a good tech firm, then you will make a good return on their education. But if you just go into the academics, then you just really have to love, you know, academics, right? Okay. All right. So again, these are street figures. Obviously too low. And the mass market car, Street is saying that Tesla can deliver 50 million in 2023. Or sorry, 50,000. 50,000 2023 seems a little bit low. But it also just depends on how quickly Tesla can ramp up production for it. Right? Because it's going to be a new design. I'm sure they're going to spend most of 2022 designing it. And then actual production, I'm sure there's going to be a huge wait list, so much demand for it. And then 2023, if they start selling it and producing it, I think 50 is going to be a little bit low. Like quite low. So that's what the street has. And obviously this is just way too small. So okay, I need to fix this formula. Oh man, I gotta do it for each one. So I'm just anchoring it to the row so that when I copy paste it, it lets me do that. Or it lets me it goes to that row instead of the previous cell we were looking at. All right, and also if you just joined the stream or if you skipped around or something when you're watching this in the future, we're building out Tesla's most optimistic scenario based on reaching 20 million cars sold in 2030, which is what Elon's goal is. And we're going to see what Tesla's valuation is if those goals are met. Okay, is there any books that you can suggest for those who are beginners? I have a book list in my description. There's some there. There's one called Hedge Fund Market Wizards, which I actually really recommend. What is the best way to get into IB? From Denmark. Okay, I don't know about the Denmark part, but it's just a matter of getting good grades, doing finance internships, surrounding yourself with a good set of peers who are interested. Tutorial building DCF? No, not really. Oh, there might be some online. You should YouTube it. I'm sure there might be some. Jeffrey start in July. Congrats on starting your Jeffrey's job. Okay. So the reason that these numbers are getting smaller for Model S and X is because I think people are just assuming that the 3 and Y, people are just buying way more of that because it's a cheaper car. And then that's kind of cannibalizing. I kind of think that what Elon believes is as time goes on, we should be multiplying much more versus the street, right? And at least we have some good figures here as a base, but we're need to do some hard coding, to be honest. Because we're trying to get these numbers to around I would say 30-ish%, 30-40%. And in order to do that, so I think in this first year it's okay to be a little bit less, because like as you see for Tesla too, when they introduce a new car like they pretty much did here, the growth rate just really spikes, right? But the actual production isn't going to actually really happen until 2024. So I think growing, get higher than street estimates for Model S, Model X, Model 3, Model Y, already pretty aggressive. And I think actually maybe even 25%. Let's see, 948. So if Hertz just ordered 100,000 cars, And then there's a lot, it's like full production going in multiple gigafactories. And right now there's like a 1 million wait list for, I forget which car, but for some of the Teslas. So, I mean, I bet if I asked Elon, hey, do you think you can sell 1.9 million car or 2 million cars by 2023? He'd probably say yes. So we're gonna stick with that. And then, let's see what questions you guys are asking. That's my background. I used to work at JPM for a few years as a banking analyst. I'm in Korea right now, but I used to be based in SF. Saw the Netflix Tesla Part 1 learning concepts. Glad to hear that. And if you're in India, it's also late for you, so thanks for joining late. And also greetings from Spain. Oh, I've always wanted to go to Spain. Okay, so next up, let's look at 2024 numbers. Cybertruck Street is saying 136, and I think a really helpful thing to look at is, I think Ford F-150 is the most popular pickup truck. And they sell, let's see how much they sell. It sold more than, Ford says in total in 2018, they sold more than 1 million F-150s globally, right? So that's a really good number to just have in the back of our mind, because I think these Cybertruck figures actually are just way too low. I'm going to make in red the ones that we hard code. So let's look at the Cybertruck waitlist. So see, Tesla Cybertruck reached 1 million in waitlist. So then it's all a matter of actually just having the supply to for production, right? It's not really about like, is there enough demand? There's a huge amount of demand. So in 2022, if we're being, a little conservative, 10% above street, saying like, hey, Tesla needs the full 2022 to really just ramp up production. And then after that, if there's a million wait list, 20,000 cars delivered in 2023 just seems super small, right? So, I mean, it's really hard to know what we should use here. But if Ford F-150 is selling 1 million a year, just imagine if you were a customer, right? Would you want to buy a Cybertruck or an Ford F-150? And let's see how much a Ford F-150 costs. Okay, Ford F-150 is 30,000-ish. Pretty sure the Cybertruck is like at around 40, 50,000. So it's a bit of a premium car, but Cybertruck RPU, average price, around 60,000. Okay, so it's pretty expensive compared to the Ford F-150. But Ford F-150, let's look up like most expensive pickup truck. These are way too expensive. So luxury, premium pickup truck. I don't really know much about trucks. Okay, screw that. Okay, but the point is, Ford F-150 is selling 1 million, the most popular pickup truck. I think the Cybertruck is going to be one of the most popular pickup trucks. I think people are going to buy it. 20,000 seems just way too low. I think it's a matter of production, but if there's a million people waiting for it, at least 75,000. Wait, let's see. 75,000. And this is where I'd probably just look into this assumption more and see like, how hard is it to produce a Cybertruck? And sorry, I'm looking at questions. I got a little distracted. Everyone recently, when you do a DCF model and the stock is severely undervalued, what's the odds of the investors coming in to pick it up? What do IBs do when they see something's undervalued but no volume? Well, investment banks don't invest. They just help run M&A and equity debt transactions, so they don't actually invest. Actual funds themselves, if they think something's undervalued, then they'll financially, they'll probably look at the qualitative story, because it's not all about the numbers, right? It's also about the qualitative stuff. So they'll look into that. If everything looks good there, then they'll probably buy, if they're at a fund. And how old was I when I started JPM? Just right after college. Reminds me of my recent internship. Yeah. None of these, as here we have 100% import duty, so truck will go double anyway. None of those, as here we have 100% import duty, so truck will go double. Oh. Even if it's, but if it's not being if it's built on the continent. Anyway, I think 75,000. I think 75,000 is fair. Right, 1 million waitlist, 75,000 in the first kind of full year of production. I think that's fair. Okay, and then the semi trucks, the Roadster. I'm not going to worry about these assumptions too much because they're just such small figures. They are more expensive, so and we're being a little bit more aggressive than the street, right? So I think that's fine. So we're at 42% here. And then the number should kind of explode for the next few years because we're going to introduce this mass market car. It's going to be around 25,000. I've saw reports about even like a $15,000 car. So if it's really cheap, then these numbers should just get really big. But let's see what the street says first. All right, so Cybertruck. Oh, wait. Did I mess up here? Okay. I don't know why I had 17 earlier. Okay, so Street thinks 73,000 is going to be sold in 2023. Oh, then this is 73. I mean, I guess that makes more sense, but then we want to be more aggressive than the Street. But it's a matter of how much more aggressive. If we do 73 times 25%. Okay, I think that's okay. I think that's good. And then 100,000 here. Okay, so yeah, 2023 is fine. So we're good with this one. Oh, thanks for that info, Richie. Where do I live? I'm in Korea right now. I saw, do I miss the US? I do miss the US. We'll be back next year. Hopefully. Or yeah. We'll be back next year. Okay, so the Street thinks 32,000 Model S's, 30,000 Model X's. Would this go, and then they're thinking it might go down because of the mass market car. I think most likely that would happen. Okay, let's start off with the Cybertruck. Cybertruck 2024, they're saying 136. And then semis, 6 million. And then Roadster, 1.8 million. Mass market car, 187.6, 187.6. And I think, again, probably pretty... So let's see. 25% for these. I think still, that's pretty aggressive. And I think what we're probably going to see is some cannibalization for some of these cars when the mass market one comes out. So if Tesla's able to achieve these numbers, I think it'll be, pretty impressive. And this mass market car, 187.6, seems, that one seems like where it's pretty low. So if they release it in 2023, just start production, then this should be something closer to like 300. Okay, wait, 300. That's only a 24% growth rate. That's pretty small. Okay, I think another good, just helpful. So most popular sedan car, or most sedan car sales model. Okay, Ford Model T, obviously not. Toyota Corolla, 50 million units by 2021. So what's the annual? Looks like, okay, Toyota Corolla is the most popular though. Okay. Model 3 and Model S, yeah, I agree. That is something I was thinking about. The Toyota will be the next one. Okay. What? Toyota Corolla, oh, just put the US globally. All right, so Toyota Corolla, 1.1 million per year is how much the mass market car was selling. And then we have here, so yeah, Tesla is just, again, being super aggressive. But, you know, maybe like I would probably think what Elon's thinking is years from now, we'll have autonomous vehicles, and then we would want to have a bunch of cars on the road that are all autonomous, right? So there'll just be this huge influx of a need for those vehicles in 2024, probably 2025 and onwards, and Tesla can be the one that's like supplying all those vehicles, right? So if we look here, the Model 3, which was their cheap sedan, went from 1.8 to 146 in 1 year. That actually makes me think that this, okay, well, actually 100 in the first year, probably fine, then 150 that following year, and then 300. But this was when Tesla was pretty not as well known, or not as, or just ramping up their production and like getting better at all that. And then it took a few years to get to 600, 700 for the Model Y. But I do think this model, yeah, this car is going to be pretty important. So let's put 400 here, and then grow it even more aggressively here. And for this, we'll do, again, 25% of street. For Cybertruck, oops. What I don't like about Tesla sales is that they are accounting for pre-orders that can be canceled. Yeah. Well, I don't know if Tesla even came out with, well, like for the Cybertruck, for instance, there's 1 million in pre-orders, right? And of course a lot can be canceled, but I think it's like kind of conservative almost to say, hey, like we think that you can sell 91,000 out of the 1 million. So I think that's fine. So why am I living in South Korea? Kind of personal reasons. Are you doing regression analysis? I'm not. I don't really know much about statistics. Phone interview for investment banking. Did I make a video about that? I don't think I did. Honestly, if it's tomorrow, I have a phone interview tomorrow. If it's tomorrow, then I would just do a mock interview with people, you know. Okay. All right, so let's again make it more aggressive than 25%. And then let's assume that in 2025, this is when full self-driving, which is still also aggressive, like full self-driving will come out. It's probably going to be ramping up, and I'm just assuming that in 2025 it just gets, you know, really big. So 2025, where are you at? 2025 right here. Cybertruck, 167. Semi-truck, 10 million. Roadster, 2 million, 1.9 million. Oh, what'd I do? Oh yeah, we forgot. I have to make these more aggressive as well. UBS says that 2025, 20% of all new cars will be electric. I guess you can estimate Tesla's market share at that point. All cars. Number of cars sold globally. Tesla is not going to have 100% market share though, so just kind of something to remember. But 20% of 71 million is 14 million. If Tesla has even 50% market share, then that's 7 million. What are we at right now? 2.6 million. It's pretty small. Okay, mass market car. Let's say this. Okay, first of all, let's see what the street says. Mass market car 2025, 383, obviously way too small. So let's say that they really ramp this up to 1 billion or 1 million. Yeah, you can expect the Chinese EV makers to take a large portion. What price do you think Tesla will close? I have no idea. Fund, I'm gonna make a video about later when things are more ironed out. So, but it's planning to launch in January. I can tell you guys that. Okay, Cybertruck. Again, I'm just gonna write here. Ford F-150 is 1 million per year, but it's cheap, a little cheaper. I'm gonna just assume this is 225 though, because I think it's a really cool car. I think a lot of people are gonna want it. Semis, we want to make a little bit. I also actually think semis could, you know, if Tesla just pretty much takes over trucking and makes everything autonomous, then they could sell a lot of semis too. Okay. 37%. Still seems... How are we going to ramp this up? This still seems really too slow. Everything Elon makes is cool. Yeah, I agree. All right. 225. How can you make this faster while still having some logic behind everything? 37% number of units. We need this number to like, okay. Number of Corollas sold. Anyway, I forgot what this number was. Oops. Oh yeah, 1.5-ish. Okay, so Corolla 1.5 million ish. Obviously Tesla's gonna try to sell more than that, but I wouldn't really say that they're gonna, you know, like triple this, right? Oh, man. Okay, I'm just gonna try to build this out the best I can first. Okay, Cybertruck. So they're maxing it out in 2030 at 300,000. But I think, okay, so if F-150 is selling 1 million and it's a little bit of a cheaper car, I think Tesla can realistically get to at least 500,000. But let's call it, maybe let's call it like 700,000. And then the mass market car, oh man, how are we gonna get to 20 million? This is crazy. This is Toyota Corolla, right? 1.5 million. Let's say they can get to 2.5 million. That's, and well, maybe they need to get something to like 5 million, because the Corolla is just one type of car. Like to actually get to 20 million, I think Tesla might need to get to 5 million or so. And the assumption would be that they're just, you know, supplying like all the transportation that normally people would take Ubers for or something like that. The lithium miners better start digging faster. Yeah. We need to double the entire global projection. Yeah. Okay. So I think at this point, the only helpful street figures are actually going to be the semis and roadster figures. So semis, what was that? 2026, 10, 11, 13, 15, 17. 10, 11, 13, 15, 17. And then roadster small, just keep in mind because it's like $200,000. 1.8, 1.92, 0.1. Okay, they're just growing by 1.1. What? Dang, can't do that. Oh man, let's do it for each one, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry this is taking so long, guys. I hope this is interesting to everyone who's on the stream and everyone who watches this in the future, because we didn't even get to really like anywhere close to really valuing Tesla. We're still stuck on revenue build, which again is the most important part, but I wish this could be faster. I mean, it could actually be a lot faster if I'm just more careless, actually. And just like randomly put really aggressive figures, which we kind of might need to do pretty soon to get to 20 million. Oops. You know, I think what'll be interesting actually is in 2030 or something like that, I could look at this model one day and I can see, you know, what Tesla sales actually are and see how aggressive, or see if these numbers come anywhere close to what Tesla actually achieves. I would probably guess that I don't think that these can be achieved in such short time frame, because 20 million cars is so many. But I'm definitely rooting for the Tesla team. Okay. By then, Elon literally be on the moon. Elon, if Tesla becomes a $3 trillion company, Elon owns 17%. So 3 trillion. Oh, wait. Let's see how much he'd be worth. Wait, that's just 500 billion. I feel like he's already worth like 200 something. Maybe, oh, it's because of SpaceX and other stuff. So just based on Tesla, he'll be worth 500 billion if he has a if Tesla becomes a $3 trillion company. Okay, mass market car. So this needs to get to 5. I mean, that's already so aggressive, but okay. We're gonna just have to start aggressively adding a bunch of numbers here. So this, let's say this grows by 1500 and then by 750. Man, I wish there was a way to not grow it linearly, but grow it exponentially there. I feel like there is a way. I think I'll have to find the Kager. Kind of forgot how to do that though. 6 years. Oh, cool. Okay. So this is growing by 38% a year. Are you taking into account higher capex 2 years before a new model, or just a consistent capex? We're gonna adjust capex based on the gigafactories here. So that would be the next step. So it's been, wow, it's been an hour and 45 minutes already. I thought you said you were gonna find a cougar. I don't. Oh, that's what it sounded like I said. No, Kager. Okay, so 5,000 here. I'll just copy this. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, this makes my life way easier. I don't have to try to figure out random numbers. Okay, so that's growing by 25%. So yeah, I guess, all right. New car. So this question, I'm gonna guess bus, because Tesla, well, before that, they're probably coming something like hatchback. Well, actually, I don't even know what kind of cars there are. That Tesla has said that they want to come out with all types of vehicles, right? So if they're the one they talked about already, and with the Roadster, semis, like all the Cybertruck, and then 2023 they have the mass market car that's at around 25,000. That's a lot for them to work on for these 3 years. So then I think for 1 year they might be designing the next car and then launch that newest one and start producing in 2025. I think that makes sense, right? Because they'll be busy with the mass market car in these years. So 2025, like they just start ramping production of a new vehicle, but this is super speculative, right? We don't really know. Oh, but one thing we should do before that is figure out what their numbers look like here. Ooh, man. So they're at roughly 9.5 million cars with the mass market car. I would assume that they would probably have to just create another car that's even cheaper, so that like maybe if this is a 25K car, this this would be a 15K car. And I have read that Tesla, I don't know if Tesla could do it, but I read an article that, you know, Tesla has the capability to build a car that cheap with how much everything costs. For Tesla target of 20 million a year, they might start EV bikes and bike sell in India. Elon has said actually that he doesn't want to create motorcycles, but I don't know if they would include bikes in that. I think they want like actual vehicles. Yeah, car sales. So honestly, oh man, I want to look at their internal financial model, because, you know, like every single company has an internal financial model, and I'm so curious what Tesla is building out towards. I guess what we can do though is build out. Okay, I know what we should do. So what we're gonna do here is keep these figures as we have them, and then we're gonna build towards a, like what we did with the other ones. So Model 3 and Model Y. This Model 3, well, there's gonna be some cannibalism. So let's say this gets to 2 million. So yeah, these are the key assumptions here. 2 million, Model Y gets to 2.5 million. And if that happened, then this, would this make sense at 5 million? It probably need to be even higher. This needs to go up here. Oops. Okay, and then the Model S and X are premium cars. Like, I don't think that these are gonna really shoot up that much, because the cheaper cars probably are gonna sell more. There's just more demand, you know. I guess a good figure would to be look at like most popular SUV and see how many of those are sold. And these are in like the hundreds of thousands, but I'm guessing that's just in the US. RAV4. Never even heard of this. Whoa. Oops, sorry. I accidentally locked my computer. RAV4 Toyota number of cars sold. 430,000. And how much is a RAV4? Okay, it seems it's in one. I think that's around 26K. So the most popular RAV4, most popular SUV is around 400K per year, 430K. Cybertruck, all right. Oh, good catch, thank you. That seemed really low. 1 million. Cool. Still makes for an aggressive assumption if it's 2.5. This is like stressful. Like, just like thinking about how all of these figures and how it doesn't make sense. But I mean, it's a good exercise, right? I still believe that. It's just that it's just like so crazy that someone believes that this is possible, but like Elon, I mean, but he must know a lot of things that obviously I don't. Okay, so semi trucks, let's look at number of semi trucks sold globally per year. 2.3 million were sold globally. So I could actually see Tesla getting a pretty big size of this market because it's going to be autonomous, right? So imagine just the whole field moving towards autonomous truck driving instead of having people literally driving trucks across the country. Global heavy duty trucks, that might not be the same thing as semi trucks though. Yeah, aggressive assumption. Remember, if you guys are just joining, remember I'm building towards the 20 million per year that Elon is trying to reach. So that's why this is the most aggressive assumption that we're going to have. Heavy truck sales. I don't know if this is semi trucks. Heavy duty. What is a heavy duty truck? Oh, okay. It is that. Globally, 1.7 in 2019, 2.3 million were sold. That's pre-COVID. Probably a little more accurate. So I actually think Tesla could sell way more semis than 21,000-ish. Right? I think, let's say they sell at least 100,000. Because that would be... I mean, interesting. I made a video about financial models in Excel used as an investment banker. This is the main one, but the other ones are like just LBOs, I guess. For Model 3, originally produced in July 27, Musk aimed for 5,000 per week by December 2017, only to produce 202 per week. Company eventually meets its goal of 5,000 per week in July 2018. It's helpful. Okay, this can't be the highest CAGR. Or could it, because it's a small number? Okay, well, that's not really going to affect what we're doing anyway. Let's say 5,000 of the Roadsters. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for the entire row to just be consistent. Let's say this gets to just, 30, I think is fair. Okay, and then 14% there, 20, okay, 5,000. All right. So we're at 10 million cars. We need another 10 million cars. How? Okay, 76% here, 63%, 43%, 29%, 37%. So these are way too small. They can really ramp up in this year. Still just at 64% of capacity. And then this would have to be something like that. Man, that's so aggressive. 7.5 million, holy crap. Okay, well, Mass market car. Let's say that, yeah, let's say it's like the Uber. It's the one that you order an Uber and it's your Tesla mass market car that picks you up. Well, actually, sorry. We're gonna build that out for this cheaper one. So let's say that really adds a lot to it. So okay, let's follow a similar thing where in the first year we're assuming that they produce 100, right? But oh wait. Just checking my formulas. This is all should be just black. Right. By the way, blue are hard codes, black are calculations, and then, oh, that's why this was blue. It's because I am hard coding. Blue is hard codes, black are calculations. Red is when I'm doing something weird. 7.5 is insane. Yep. Biased model. I'm going to explain this so many times again. This is not what I believe is going to happen. This is, we're trying to build towards Elon's optimistic case of 20 million cars sold and then see what Tesla's valuation is. And then make more conservative assumptions that more accurately predict or are more accurate of what I think Tesla will actually sell. And then that'll be kind of like my personal view of valuation. Okay. All right. I feel like this is, so far though, a lot of this makes, like, I'm not saying that these numbers are going to be hit or anything, but the way that everything is being calculated so far, I feel much better with these CAGRs instead of me like just hard coding numbers. And these are based off of, wait, why is one? Oh yeah, this is based off the street. So I actually need to multiply this. I'm going to assume that the street is relatively accurate for the first few years of projections because they spend a lot of time on their models. But I am going to assume that their later years are more conservative. Let's do something like that. Mass market car 100, 400, 1,250. Okay. Gotta save. All right, now we're at the new car, which is another mass market car, 15,000 for, it's gonna be a lot cheaper. I'm gonna assume that in their first production year, they've become very, very efficient in 2026. So they're gonna start off with, well, let's see what they have done in the past. 1.8 thousand in 1 year, then ramp up to 150. That actually makes me think that, oh wait, 2023 is when they introduce and they ramp up to 400. So let's say that by this point, they know what they're doing, right? So they can ramp up starting off with 250. And then by this year, the super, super cheap model, I guess they'll need to sell something like 5 million also by this point. Dang. And I did not build this formula correctly. Can't copy paste it. Okay. Man, that's too much. Everything is too much. Still just at 13 million cars. And then this new car, what else can you make? What kind of cars are there in the world? Types of cars. I guess there's minivans. Okay, this is helpful. A micro. Oh, that'd be interesting. Hatchback, sedan, SUV we have. Sedan we have. Tesla hatchbacks are so ugly. I don't know if they would ever make that. Luxury we have. Antique, no. Muscle car. Supercar we have. Sports car. Coupe. I can see them making a coupe. Electric car. Hybrid car. Limousine. How are you valuing non-tangible assets, I guess? Like licensing self-driving? We're going to do that later. I haven't fully thought it through, but there's two ways I'm thinking about it. One is just to have like a big number and say that that's their valuation in a given year and discount it back to present value. Or the other is to try to use the number of cars that we've built out and then think about what would the penetration rate be in certain years and how much they would charge for their self-driving service and all that, and then find revenue. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that though, given how long things take. Okay, so would Tesla ever come out with the micro? That'd be cheaper. Okay, new car. Man, I mean, this is also just... like, we don't even know what Tesla's plans are, right? So there's so much conjecture. How is Tesla going to reach 20 million cars? Elon explains how Tesla plans to produce 20 million cars. Okay, I'm going to spend some time reading this. With around 2 billion cars in the world, 20 million cars per year would mean Tesla replaces 1% of the global fleet each year. It's difficult to say that, are we really changing the world for not switching out 1%? Okay, that's fair. I'm not sure that we can make that argument unless we change at least 1%. Okay. ARC Research found electric cars 1.8 million. Predict grow to 35 million to the next 5 to 6 years, accounting for 40% of total sales. In terms of how production would improve over time to make 20 million a reality, Musk refused to be drawn into the details. Unhelpful. The CEO has claimed before that it's hard to predict manufacturing will grow. Hence why we tried to do that at the beginning and had some challenges there. Musk doesn't have a great track record. Yep. Tricky thing with predicting things midway through an exponential is that things are doubling every year or even just growing 50%. Then if you shift plus minus 1 year, it has a huge effect on the number. It sounds like, wow, you either massively exceeded or massively undershot, but actually what's going on, a whole bunch of pretty big S-curves. But later on, Musk shed some light. Okay, by the end of the company, all right, so that's 2021. Increased capacity in Shanghai and Berlin and Austin. Okay. So that wasn't super helpful, but what can we do? I guess we just gotta make these more aggressive. I mean, we don't really have a choice, right? Even if it doesn't make sense. I mean, okay. Cybertruck, Ford F-150, 1 million per year. Let's say that Tesla's able to decrease the price, sell at least as many F-150s as, you know, in 10 years from now and else. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to do that. Sorry, dude, hatchbacks are hot right now. Oh, really? Okay. Maybe we do a hatchback then. How much are hatchbacks? Hatchbacks are just so ugly. I don't know if Tesla would ever want to make one. Let's see if there's any information about that. Oh, wait, maybe they already made, wait, what is this? The Tesla compact car, excuse me, will be launched 2033. It will compete with sold hatchbacks. Oh, so I guess they're selling a hatchback. Okay. So that's a little different. Honda Civic is a hatchback? I guess I don't know what a hatchback is. I thought this was a sedan. Huh. Okay, I got that completely wrong. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Mass market car, 25,000. New car, cheaper car, 5,000. We need like 2 million more. So let's pump up some numbers. Let's add this new car first. Let's imagine, okay, so it's probably launching here. I think it makes sense for it to be a bus, because there's so many buses in the world. And, well, not so many buses, but like, imagine if all of the buses were autonomous. That'd be a huge, pretty big like need, right? Because it's public transportation. Imagine if everything was all autonomous when you take the bus, then that would be amazing, right? So, and Tesla has talked about making or Elon has talked about making a bus before. So world market buses, 630,000 in 2016. $18-wheelers, that's semis, I think, right? Honestly, I know so little about cars. If 18-wheeler is a semi truck, I'm pretty sure that sounds like it has 18 wheels. Okay, so let's say if Tesla is able to sell 100 of these, 100,000 in the first year, which is not going to be easy given that buses are so big. But, you know, maybe in 2028 they're just super optimized. And so if 630,000, let's say 500,000 here. Oof. All right, we're at 18 million. And this is 92% of their capacity, 82%, 65, okay. And what are they growing at? Reading the comments here, whichever way you look at it, Tesla shouldn't have a 1 trillion market cap today. Probably true if you're looking at the fundamentals. I mean, that's what a lot of the street... I mean, street is also optimistic too, though. I showed this to you. Well, I don't have FactSet open right now, but a lot of analysts are predicting like $800-900, which is not really that far off to where Tesla's at right now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is these figures. I don't love that these are growing super fast in the last few years. Oh wait, it's because we're introducing new cars though, so that might actually be okay. So let's think about this. And also Tesla is a little lumpy. So 40%, 60, 51, 35. Then they introduced a new car, went to 138. And then, so let's look at the sections that where a new car is introduced. So this is a new car. Oh no, yeah. New car, but it's the Cybertruck. It's up by 63%, 43%. And then the new mass market car is introduced. Doesn't really improve things that much. Increase to 50%, then 28%, 28%, 33% when the... Okay. I actually think this makes sense. The only thing this number is just super aggressive, like the most aggressive. I think am I going to do a video about phase spec? Not really sure what that means or what that is. A stands for actual, E stands for estimate. Okay. Can they sell? Oh man, my 4 million, 8 million. The Toyota Corolla is 1.5 million. This is just so much. This is also a lot. But I guess if we okay, I just need to just, you know, run with some really crazy numbers because this is still based on, you know, figures that are somewhat still make sense, right? So we just got to run with some kind of crazy numbers, and like no matter how hard I try not to, they're just gonna have to be crazy. But they're all based a little bit at least on historicals as well, and this is just a super optimistic case. So what was the number of semis truck per year? Number of semi trucks globally sold per year, 2.3 million. So this is probably super small compared to, yeah, like let's say if Tesla takes over the trucking industry globally, 500,000, no, I don't, 250,000. Let's do that. Roadster up to 5 million or 5,000 cars per year. Number of Ferraris sold per year is 8,400. So let's say that this is like 10,000. Model S and X, because it's the oldest, I guess, I don't know, maybe people won't be buying it as much, but let's just make this 50. 18.8, okay. $630,000 global buses, so yeah, it's 630,000. No, okay. Okay. We're not gonna, okay, I think, I'm just debating if we should actually get to 20 million. Maybe if I add some other kind of car. I think what would make sense to me, most sense to me, is they just have, you know, they're just like different versions of similar cars that companies produce. Like Toyota has the, I don't know, a bunch of different types of sedans, right? So let's just assume that Tesla comes up with another type of sedan and launches that here. This one sells 3 million, sells 2 million or 2,000. Or 2 million, yeah. Okay, 19.5. I'm gonna stop there because we could do this forever. All right, let me look at some what questions or comments on the chat you guys might have. You're right, should be more thanks a lot, learning a lot from the streams. Glad it's helpful. This is what Kathy Wood thinks every time she says ARK base case for Tesla shares is 3,000. Yeah, I want to see ARK's model. That must be crazy. Okay, so let's see what their CAGR is based on these calculations. This is 10, I think it's 10 years. Oh crap, I did something wrong. To the power of 1 divided by that minus that minus 1. Nope, did something wrong. Man, I forgot how to find my CAGR. Okay, 36%. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Okay. And let me double check this. Cool. Wait. This should match up with that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. Oh man, what's going on? Okay, I mean, we're not off by much, but it's still bugging me that this is not working. It's so weird. Okay, I guess I'll just have to worry about that later. Wait, in CAGR, time would be 2030 minus 2021 plus 1. I don't think that fixes it though. I mean, I did it right here. So this is 3, there's 4 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you're right that it is 2030, but this is actually correct because it's 2030 minus 2021, which is 9. Oh, it's probably the beginning. That divided by that, what is that? I learned Excel at, man, I should just put the XJPM thing on my title when I do these streams, because I keep him out because I don't want to sound like I'm trying to use that, too much, but then people always ask on these streams where I learn. Okay. Is this... Okay, anyway. I'll fix that later, sorry. But it looks like Tesla's growing around 40%, which is close to, and Tesla said they want to grow by 50% over the long term. But like, what kind of company is actually going to grow by 50% the entire time, right? And we're getting to our very close to 20 million by 2030. I think for our Elon Musk case, where we're just like going with Tesla's numbers or estimates, that's totally fine with me. And now it is time to actually get our revenue numbers. So I'm gonna have to delete a lot of this. Start from scratch. Okay. We're very close to getting to our revenue figures. For cars, at least. Okay, I said I was going to cap this at a 2.5 hour stream, but I want to get at least to our vehicle revenue figures. So I'll try to make this a max a 3 hour stream. You need to multiply line 198 with the CAGR, not always starting with the line above. You need to multiply line 198. Oh, shit. Oops, I'm not supposed to curse. Oh, oops. Oh, right. We're using that for some of this stuff here. Where should I put that? All right, so a lot of this model, I would never want to have my key assumptions here. I'd want to build them at the top of the sheet, but maybe one day in the future I can actually make all the changes to make this model look make it all good or formatted well, as I should. All right, what do you guys do when I'm streaming, by the way? I know there's like 60 of you guys on here. Do you guys actually, I can't imagine you're just only doing this, right? Are you guys working on stuff? I know it's a weekday. Working. Cool. Trading. I actually don't even know what the markets are like right now. I want to check. Face ID didn't work. Market's down a little bit. Okay, interesting. Whoa, Facebook's down a lot. All right. Ooh. Oops. Okay. How many hours of sleep did I get with increased deal flow? Really depends on the week, but generally, even if it's a bad week, most days we'd sleep around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then weekends just get normal hours of sleep, but you're just working during the day. And I did sleep at the office sometimes when there's like a empty conference room. I would take like 30-minute, 60-minute naps sometimes. Being sleep deprived. Yeah, I would just drink a ton of water. The keyboard is a mechanical keyboard I bought on Coupang. It's really not that special, to be honest, because it's pretty cheap. I know that like there are ways to get really nice mechanical keyboards, and I definitely want to get some good one, like get a good one in the future. Once I do, I will let everyone. Maybe I'll make a video about my setup. No coffee. I'm one of those people that just stayed away from coffee because I knew I would get addicted in banking. So okay. So these are our street figures. Street estimates. Estimates for our car units. And then this one is elon case car units. Okay, this is messy, but we'll leave it as is. Clean it up later. And now it's time to link to our units. So for Model S, Elon case, it's here. And we have to make this purple. Purple means you're linking to something that's in your same sheet. And that's just what I used at JPM. It's not a you must do this type rule. We're upgrade streaming cam. Yeah, I need to. I'm gonna eventually use my DSLR, but I need to get like this dummy battery so that it can stay on. Where do I work? I work full-time on rareliquid. What advice would you give to a 20-year-old breaking into US immigrant? If you're international, then I would say it's going to be pretty tough. I would try to break into your home country first. Do you do the same kind of analysis when you invest my own money? This is technically to invest my own money. I'm doing this analysis. I'm going to build a Facebook DCF. And Facebook is a company that I am bullish on. Tesla, I think will do well, but I just don't know if I can buy at the current valuation. Model Y. We're almost there. As in almost there, as in to almost to our revenue figure for cars. Semis. Wait till Tesla reaches 3,000. Yeah, I mean, if there's a big dip, I would probably buy Tesla. Like if it was at like and you'll probably say like, oh, it'll never get there again. Which, if there's a large correction, it could. Maybe if it gets to like 500, 600, then I would probably buy. But I'm sure a lot of people think that. If it were to ever get to 600, that's when everyone would be selling though. Except the diehards. But you know, as what happened in COVID last year, things just, everyone is very bullish and then bearish at the same time. Okay, Roadster. New car 1. Yep. Get greedy when everyone's fearful. Yep, exactly. But I'm just saying that the market doesn't react like that, right? The market, everyone gets greedy at the same time, like they are now, and everyone gets fearful at the same time. I'm not saying that like I'm like a lot, like that I'm invaluable or that I can't fall into the same traps, because I do, but right now for Tesla, just can't probably justify it. But we'll see what my DCF says. If like my conservative case says that, you know, it's not as overvalued as I think, then maybe I try to enter at a lower price than what I just said. Okay. Hi Paula, what's up Matthew? I fell to 525 earlier this year. I went long. Now I've been taking profits. That's solid. I'm going to recreate these soon. Cool. And buy Chinese EV makers. Yeah, I did an analysis on NIO, and I don't really know though. It's hard to know exactly how much of a leader NIO is or not when you're not really, like, I'm not like a car expert. So I know everyone's hyped up on NIO, but it's hard to really know. Okay. Let's do a check. What are you doing this for a company? What sites are you limited to pulling from? I'm using Visible Alpha, which is a tool I pay for. If you're looking to start YouTube, what would be some advice for that? Well, one thing for sure is that your mic is more important than your video, as you can tell from this stream. I'm surprised a lot of people are actually watching the previous streams, even though the quality of my video is so bad. But that's why it's such a tiny part of the screen. But I'll make. Sorry, I don't think I can answer that question right now. I'm sorry. All right. Maybe at the end. I'll leave some room at the very end for some questions. Okay, but all right, finally. So we linked up all the cars units. So now it's a matter of doing our street. So I'm gonna now recall this base case because we don't have a street case anymore. Make sure that this is all correct. Okay. And then now it's a matter of how much should we decrease our base case by and conservative case by? Like we talked about last stream, the 2021 figures should all stay the same because they're very reliable figures. Okay, 2022. Okay, I don't want to just slap one number on everything because as time goes on, these numbers, like the first few years of projections are a lot more reliable than the latter ones. Like we want to slope things down where oh, sorry, I'm looking at the questions. How have you thought about streaming on He Who Must Not Be Named on YouTube sites? I have no idea what that is. And thank you, Paula. Okay, so I forgot how I'm supposed to do this. So we only want a smaller haircut for the first few years and a bigger haircut in the latter years. Is there a way? I guess what we're gonna have to do, which I don't think I've really done before, is create a ramp. 14.5. Oh wait, one of my teammates messaged me. I need to, sorry to interrupt, but let me just go through one thing, or message one thing. Okay, so conservative. Oh, we only need 2 ramps. Oh, Twitch. I did a poll about whether or not I should do Twitch or YouTube, and most people said YouTube, so I just did YouTube. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take a smaller percentage cut for our base case and for the first few years, and then a larger cut for the later years. And that's just because, you know, the numbers just get so aggressive later on, right? And we want to make sure that our conservative and base case numbers are getting less and less, are getting more and more realistic-ish, or not realistic, what that is the word, but smaller than, I'm just going to build it. It'll make sense for all of you. Sorry. So, okay. So let's say 5% cut here, 10% cut here. And then let's try increasing this by 2.5%. Okay, 50% reduction would make it so that they're selling around 10 million cars, right? Which is still actually not really conservative. I would actually think that our base case, I think if Tesla were to sell 10 million cars by 2030, that would actually still be a huge success. All right, gotta fix my posture. Oh, okay. And then here, like the street right now, $20.30. Where's the total unit number? Street says 6 million cars by 2030, right? Which is obviously very, very low. I think if we were to have our base case be actually 50%, 10 million. I think if we were to get to somewhere around 8 to 9 million, I think that would be a good conservative case. So just thinking here. Well, actually, we don't want to start this big. 15. I guess we'll do the Kager thing again. Should we do that? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, so base case, we'll do a 10% haircut. Conservative case, we'll do a 20% haircut. And what we did in our optimistic case was do 10% of street. Okay, actually, so we can't go lower than that, or higher than that, I mean. So the base case should actually be something like 5% haircut. Conservative case, 7.5% haircut. Because the street's going to probably be pretty accurate for 2022. And then we did 25% increase here. So, all right, so let's try this Kager thing. So let's say in our final year, what do we want for 2030? We want, so if it's 20 million cars, half of that's 10 million. Base case, 8 million or so. So maybe a 65% cut. And then for our base case, we want to have a pretty sizable range. So let's do that. 70% base case. 50% would be 10 million cars. 50% is 10 million cars. Is that a good base case? Still pretty aggressive. Let's see what it looks like for now. Okay, and then multiplying by our Kager. Cool, that's correct. You can tell what was your working hour as banker, 70 to 100 hours, 60 to 100. Sometimes some weeks are a lot easier than others. Okay. Conservative case. Is this conservative enough? Okay, well, let's just build it out for now. Okay, so what we're going to do is get, for our conservative case, get our elon case and multiply it by the discount over here. Ooh, that's very low. I mean, I guess it is our conservative case though. What does Street think? 2030 for a Model S units is 33.6K. Oh man, do we have to make a ramp for every single one? Okay. $15.25. Okay, that at least. Okay, sorry guys, I'm just thinking in my head a lot. But at least for now, these numbers kind of make sense. And then this is where things get really crazy, so. Do I have any hobbies? Sorry, I'll answer that after I finish this thing. Just have a feeling that even the conservative case is just not conservative enough. Oh, 6 million cars. That's conservative. 11 million cars base case. That actually sounds like a lot. Well, 11 million, basically half of what Elon predicts. I mean, I would hesitate to call that a base case because base case is like what I personally believe, right? Okay, so my base case is a little bit kind of more conservative on the model than the street for the Model S and the Model X, but I think that's more than made up for with all the other cars where my aggressives are super aggressive. My assumptions are super aggressive. So this is what it looks like. Our conservative case, they are selling. Oh, this is actually decreasing, which I guess could happen. So, and these are so far into the future that when we discount back, it's not going to matter that much, that these numbers are a little wonky. But conservative case, they're selling 6 million cars, which is actually, yeah, more conservative than the street, which is good, you know, to have like something that's very conservative. And then we have a base case of 10 million cars or so, which I think is achievable because Tesla's branding is just so strong. Elon case around 20 million, right? It's not perfectly 20 million, but you know, we did our best. And then now unit growth rate. I guess we can calculate this. Did I do this already? Oh no, I didn't. And this is just for reference, right? Are you short on Tesla? I don't think I would ever short Tesla. It's just, there's just too much positivity behind it. Okay, growth rates. We don't even really need this, but I'll do it anyway. It might be helpful later. Thought about going on Twitch. Yeah, I surveyed everyone on Instagram who if I should do Twitch or YouTube, and then everyone said to do YouTube. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should go on Twitch instead? I'd have to kind of like start from scratch and just build an audience there, or not start from scratch, but you know, I don't have any much on. Yeah, I think you guys get what I'm saying. All right, multitasking is not easy for me, maybe for other people. New car one. What? It's being weird. Okay, so I've decided today I'm just gonna get to vehicle revenue. We can't even finish the DCF. I'm sorry guys, but I actually have to work on my next video, and so I gotta do that after this. Twitch is a bit more competitive, but quality finance streamers are hard to come by. Usually watch the finance channels on YouTube more. Twitch for gaming, yeah. How often do you build models from scratch? We kind of did it all the time, but I would copy paste a lot from other models. Because like for formatting and stuff like that, you don't really want to do that over. Topic for next video is on Facebook. So model predicts Tesla will have a 60% market share of all newly produced EVs by 2030. Is that for my optimistic case? Modeling live streams are gold. Keep doing them. I'm glad you think so. And I will definitely. I don't think I'm doing another one this week. So I've been doing a lot of streams, but I think in the future I might do one modeling stream per every 2 weeks or so, because I actually really want to focus a lot of my attention to crypto, and I've been focusing a lot on stocks these days. How do you donate? I don't really know how to. I think there's a thing where you can send money through YouTube, like this live stream thing, but honestly, no need to donate. Okay. My middle finger hurts because I've been using it so much. I link to an Excel course. I don't know which Excel course would be good. I've never really looked into Excel courses. Okay. All right, now we got to get the prices. And I think if I were really going to do this well, I'd probably build cases for the prices too. But I'm not going to do that today. I'll fix pricing stuff later. We do need to enter those Cybertruck prices. Oof. Dang it. Messed up here. Oh man, my switches are all a mess right now. I think if I delete this, nothing happens though. Oh, energy products. How would I do this one? Here's my middle finger too much. Love how my employer will require me to build one under an hour and Benyo's taking 2 days. Yeah, I guess it depends how detailed you make it, but sometimes I would make this what I made until now in 1 day, right? But it's just that I'm streaming it, and so I don't want to do like a 12-hour stream. Does every analyst end up this fast with Excel building and building models? Yeah, I mean most oops. Like I would say that I don't really know how I would compare myself per se, but I think, you know, a lot of people are pretty fast when they're in banking. So I would say, yeah, that's all I have to say. Alright, so we haven't used these yet. Let's just have a total revenue button so we make sure everything's working. Oops, where's the Roadster? Well, 3 Model Y, Cybertruck, semi-trucks, mass market car, Roadster. Oh, I switched these. Should have the Roadster first. I'm reading the chat. Sorry, I can't give career advice right now. I'm getting tired. I'll answer some questions at the end of the stream though. Roadster. You know, it's also, just realizing this now, you would think that Tesla would come up with a better name than Roadster. Kind of sounds a little lame, to be honest. All right, almost there. We need to add prices now. Okay. Cybertruck. Cybertruck. Revenue per user, or our revenue per unit. 60-ish thousand. Okay, I'm gonna use like have different pricing per year if I were to do this correctly, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna keep it flat. Semi trucks. $180-ish, 180. Well, let's say it's 182.5. Roadster. Roadster is going to be around 210. Mass market car, 25,000. Huh? New car, which is different than the mass market car, just different design, but same price. Then another mass market car, just super cheap, 15,000. New car bus. How much are buses? $250 to $280. So let's just call it $275. Okay, so we got our total units. Don't need the price. We are almost there. So that plus that plus that plus that plus that plus that. Okay, we did it. You guys ready for this? There we go. We got our vehicles revenue, which is the hardest part. Oh, wow, that took forever. Okay, so let's see. Starting off with our base case, or conservative case. This would make vehicle revenue $211 billion in revenue. Let's see what Apple has. Apple revenue. Okay, so conservative case, Tesla's making as much as Apple is making pretty much now. I think that's fair, especially because they're selling more expensive products. Conservative case, I'm okay with that. Base case, $350 billion. Optimistic case, $700 billion in sales. Which again, since it's a car company, if they're selling that much, since their unit price is higher, you know, their margins aren't going to be that good compared to like software companies. I mean, yeah, that's what it looks like we come out to. Yeah, Richie, it took 3 hours, I think. Didn't it take 3? Let me check. Yeah. All right. So we didn't get to finishing out the model. But like I said, this is the most important and hardest part. Although I would probably have to really do some more research on like the pricing and the ramp and like how it's all being built out. But I think when I finish, for the next step, I'm going to be kind of just rolling with these numbers. I might change the pricing. So I'll probably have to do one final stream for Tesla, but I'm not entirely sure yet when that's going to be. I'll let all of you guys know. And if you all want to stay updated with everything, then you can follow me on Instagram, and I always like announce everything there. If you also want to join as a Patreon, in the description down below, that's also an option as well. But for now, yeah, that's it. All right, so now I will see if you guys, do you guys have any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions, random ones, and then probably for like 5 minutes or so or less, and then I'll sign off. Let me look at the questions so far. Isn't DCF used to discount cash flows to present value? Yep. We only got to the building out revenue part. This is where I guess I can show you guys what we would do next, right? So we would have our revenue. I'm only going to show you one step. And then we just link it to here. We link it to our revenue. Right, and then this is the basis of our model pretty much. And then we have our EBIT margins, and then you calculate for cash flow, and then well, actually this is only vehicle revenue. This doesn't even take into account the other stuff yet. So I would say this is actually a lot for the optimistic case. But anyway, we'll do all the other stuff another time. This might be a good guy, Goldman Sachs. Okay. Might be look at gross revenue made from the company from the highest vehicle sales in the world. Joe, it seems like you asked a question. Lithium mines. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of other revenue stuff I didn't calculate. So energy products, autonomous driving, regulatory credit. Yeah, so we're gonna add all this stuff later into our model. So if Tesla is expected to take over in the next few years, you can use that as our guide. Good job, Tesla is working on mining lithium. Thanks, Richie. All right, seems like there's no questions, so I'm going to sign off, and thank you all for joining, as always, and props to you guys if you started from the beginning all the way to the end. I know Richie did, and maybe Joseph, I forget. But yeah, I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining. Peace.